Jam has been over for like the past 2 weeks. You have seen your jam scores already, and I know you'll be thinking about admission and how to like enter one school, one institution, and you might be confused because it took me 2 years before I could get the right path to gaining an admission, and I will not want that to happen to you. Because even the first time I wrote JAMB, I would have gotten admission into this school that I am for this course that I'm doing, but like I lacked orientation then. I wanted to go to the big schools, Unilag, UI, and all. So I wrote JAMB the second time. So when I wrote it the second time, nobody informed me at all. I took the right decision. So I want to just give you a breakdown on how admission works in Nigeria. So getting admission means like getting admission into an higher institution or a tertiary institution. And we have three types of tertiary institution in Nigeria. But before I proceed, I'm David Medic, and if you are just coming across my channel for the first time, I'm a medical student, 100 level medical student in Osun State University, and I post videos about education, vlogs, medical tips, and shorts. I post some shorts too. So I'm still just trying to figure out what this channel is. But I post videos on a weekly basis, so you can consider subscribing. I would love that. So now we have three types of higher institution in Nigeria. We have the university, which is like the top. Then we have the polytechnics. Then we have college of education. So now every institution has their own mode of admission. You understand? But I feel like let's start with the university. So there are two ways you can gain admission into the university. That's the UTME method or direct entry method. And all this based on the fact on JAMB. If you are writing UTME, you go through JAMB. If you are doing direct entry, you also go through JAMB. So what is UTME? I know most of you wrote UTME. That's the normal, the way people say I'm going to write JAMB. But the actual expression is like I'm going to write UTME, not JAMB. JAMB is like the body that is setting the exam. So yeah, you can either go through UTME method or direct entry. So if you are going through the UTME method, you write JAMB. Then depend on the school you are going for. Some school write post UTME, while some school do screening. So if you are writing post UTME, that means you are writing another exam, and this exam is set by the university that you are going for. While if you are going through the screening way, that means you just use only your JAMB result and your O level result. That's why NECO, GC. Then you start from 100 level. But if you are going through the direct entry part, you go and do A levels. That means JUPEB, Cambridge, and all those A level exams. Then you start in 200 level, not 100 level, and you can use a first degree because there's one of my mentors on YouTube. She did a first degree in anatomy. Then she now went back to this university, used direct entry. She now started medicine and surgery again after 4 years of anatomy. So you can either use a first degree or A levels. Now, then if you go to the university, you earn a bachelor's degree. Of course, you earn a bachelor's degree, and you can do a 4-year course. To I think the maximum is 6-year course, and I think that's medicine and surgery. Then we have 4 years, we have 5-year courses. So yeah, but there are some things you need to consider when picking a university. And now let's start with the first one: money, finance, the cost. If you are going to a federal university, it's relatively cheap. You pay, I don't think, maybe the highest you can pay is maybe 80K. I don't really know because I'm not in the federal uni, but I know it's the cheapest way you can go to the university is going to a federal school. Then if you consider going to a state school, it's relatively expensive compared to a federal school, but some state schools are cheap, but my own school is a bit expensive, while some state schools are cheap. Then if you now go to the a private university, then you are ready to spend more money, like Afe Babalola, Covenant University, and the rest of them like that. Also, the competitiveness. Now, this is what affected me the first time I wrote JAMB, because I picked some schools that were very competitive, and my own score was not that competitive. It was okay for some courses, but for the course I wanted to do at the time, medicine and surgery, my score was bullshit. So, competitiveness, you have 220, you want to do law, and you're picking University of Ibadan. You probably write jam 6 times before you gain admission with that score, because University of Ibadan is really really competitive. And so the thing is, when talking about admission, you just have to be smart, because even the score I had that got me admission into this school, if I had picked Uni Ibadan, that's UI or OAU, I'll probably still be going for another jam form next year, because the score is not that competitive with compared to the. And also another thing to consider when picking a university is the mode of admission. You know, probably if the school you want to go to is a school where they write screening, then you can consider schools like LASU, Lagos State University, Uni Osun, and some other schools like that. Then if you want to write post UTME, you can consider schools like UI, OAU, and the rest of them. So okay, let me talk a little bit about polytechnic. So if you go to a poly, you like graduate with either a ND, I think that's national diploma, or HND, higher national diploma. And if you go to a college of education, you graduate with NC. And yeah, so that's basically it. So it depends on your jam score, depend on the results you have at hand. If you know what you have cannot get your admission into, you say you write jam, then you have 120 over 400, then you are going to pick UI. If you can't pick UI, because I think to pick UI you must have 200 and above, so it's not going to be wise. So you probably go to a poly that accepts 100, maybe 150 below, or college of education. But there are some common admission terms that you need to know. I sat down and thought about all these terms, because these are the terms that gave me problem during my first jam. So the first term is cutoff mark. What is cutoff mark? Now, cutoff mark is like the minimum jam score you must get before applying to any institution. It doesn't guarantee you admission, but it guarantees you, like, what I say, a ticket to apply to the school. If you are going for, I think Uni Osun was 160, right? What's word? Uni Osun was 160, yeah. So cutoff mark for Uni Osun then, when I was running my admission, was 160. For UI, I think 200. For some schools is 180, but I think the highest is 200 or so. So that's cutoff mark, the minimum jam score, minimum, no maximum, because some people don't know the difference. So because someone was asking me that, I think someone, OU aspirant was asking me a few weeks ago that she has 160 and she wants to do computer science in Olabisi Onabanjo University. That will the school give her admission? I said I don't know, because your score is low. But she was like, and she passed the cutoff. I said passing the cutoff does not guarantee you admission. It just gives you. Now another term is quota. Quota in the sense that QUOTA. So it's the maximum number of students a school can admit in a department. So I think for my school, medicine and surgery, the quota was 100. For some schools, medicine and surgery is 50, some schools 35. For law, in some schools it can be 150, and so that's the meaning of quota, like maximum number of students a school can admit in a department. So what is aggregate? People say aggregate, like my aggregate is 92, my aggregate is 60. What is aggregate? So aggregate is like the cumulative results, your JAMB, your UTME score, your O-level score. Then if you wrote post UTME, your post UTME score, everything added together, that's what we call aggregate. Every school have their own mode of calculating the aggregate. In my own school, it's screening we use here, Uni Osun. So JAMB is 60%, then I think O-level is 40%. So what departmental cutoff? So after calculating your aggregate, then the department releases a certain mark to filter students that are qualified for the admission. So let's say for biochemistry in maybe University of Lagos, they can say, okay, well, the department cutoff mark is 60. So anybody below 60 will not be considered for admission into that department. You understand? So that's the meaning of department cutoff. It's different from the general cutoff for the school. We also have merit. That means when you are above the department cutoff, when they say admission on merit list, like the first batch that the school releases, so that's when like you are way above the department cutoff. If you know you are enjoying this video, make sure you like the video. And if you have any questions regarding your admission process, or you need admission advice, I will give you like advice on the best of my knowledge. So just drop your comments in the comment section. I will give you an answer for sure. Then we have something we call catchment areas. So I think some schools do catchments. Schools like OAU, Unilag, Uniben, they do catchments. So catchment is like areas around the geopolitical zones of your school. So let's say we are considering OAU. OAU is in Ile-Ife in Osun State. So they can consider Lagos, maybe Oyo, and some states around the school. Then they call it the catchment area. So probably if the cutoff for medicine is 80 generally, merit cutoff, then for catchment areas like Lagos it might be 78, then for maybe Oyo it can be 76. So that's the meaning of catchment area. Then we have something we call ELDS. Full meaning is educationally less developed states. States like the northern states, Borno, all those northern states, they are not really educationally well developed. They have a lower cutoff. I was going through the cutoff for medicine and surgery in OAU for the last session, and I noticed that the ELDS cutoff was like 10 points below the normal cutoff. If the normal cutoff was 80, people from Kwara could enter with 70, 72. So yeah, that's basic common admission terms that you need to know even before getting admission. Now the question now is, will you get admitted? I'm not the admission officer of any university, but there are some certain questions you need to ask yourself, or some certain things you need to do to increase your chances of getting admitted. First, know the mode of admission that will favor you. Some people, screening is going to favor them because they already have good O-level results, then a good JAMB score. So best thing is to go to a screening school and know that your admission is settled, rather than going to pick OAU where the post-UTME could break your back and reduce your chances. So know the mode of admission that will favor you. Me, what made me gain admission was because I knew I need to go to a screening school because my O-level was relatively good. I had A's and B. Then my JAMB score was okay with the O-level backing it up. So I went to a screening school straight and direct, and I was way above the merit cutoff. But if I had picked something like OAU or UI and I write the post-UTME and I don't do that well, is my O level and JAMB will not even show at all because the post-UTME will like reduce my chances. So know the mode of admission that will favor you. Then finally, if you now know that is a post-UTME school that will favor me because my O level is not that good or my JAMB is not that good, prepare for the post-UTME well. So how do you prepare for post-UTME? Make sure you solve past questions of that school. Probably with Uniben, make sure you solve Uniben post-UTME past questions. Just prepare adequately for the post-UTME. Also make realistic decision, especially for MBBS aspirant out there. Make realistic decision. Please, most people feel like they can use faith for everything, but if you don't even help yourself, God is not going to help you. Okay, you want to do MBBS, you have 240 in JAMB, you are picking UI. Come on, even someone with 320 self is still struggling. You that you have 240, you are now picking UI. Even that 240 cannot get you MBBS in any university, maybe a private school. Then make smart choices. See, there's no university that is better than the other. That's what killed me in my first JAMB. My first JAMB, my dad brought Uni Osun to me. He was like, David, go to Uni Osun. With this your score, you will enter. And probably I'll be in 200 level MBBS now. But I told him that Uni Osun is in a village, it's in Oshogbo. I can't come to Oshogbo. That's what I said back then. On the second JAMB, my daddy didn't even have to tell me to come to Uni Osun. I was the one that picked Uni Osun myself. And I'm in Oshogbo. And Oshogbo is nice. This place is nice. So please make smart choices. Then also consider other alternatives. It's not only UTME. We have direct entry. You can use direct entry to enter the school. Then we have other institutions. We have polytechnics. We have college of education. It's not only the university that you can go to, you understand? So consider other alternatives. Okay, you wanted let's say you wanted law, but your aggregate or your scores is can't get you law. Consider mass communication. Consider linguistics, you understand? So just consider other alternatives. Then finally put God first. It's God that can run it for you. In my first admission journey, my first JAMB, I can say outside that my parents spent over 200,000 naira for admission runs. Like, you wanted me to do medicine and surgery now, so They paid money for lecturers, almost 200k or even more than. Funny enough, I didn't get the admission, but this second jam that I got admission, I didn't even call any lecturer in uni Osun. You understand? Because God was at the forefront for me, and I also made the right decisions. So God, with making right decisions, should get you your admission. So that's all from my side. So if you have any more questions, make sure you drop it in the comment section. And also subscribe to the channel so that I will be motivated to do more videos for you guys. And this video took me about 1.5 weeks to do the research. I did a lot of research because I can't come and give you false information here. So the only way you can reward me or show your appreciation is by sharing this video with your friends. To all admission aspirants,